You can also people are calling me. You can pretty much add almost all the products of the 30 days to healthy living and beyond in a little fit kit. And technically you can even add the new body cleanse because it tastes so great. You want people to try it, you can, it's up to you. But then of course, when you open a box, you kind of have to like use that box up, right? Because there, but again, it's up to you. In this case, like I mentioned, she is a detox client. She's already using our nutrition product. So I'm sending her a sample of the RE9, okay? Because the RE9 is something she doesn't have. So I want her to try that. On top of that, I put a catalog. She already has a catalog, but in this case, she wants a Spanish one for her mom. So I wouldn't send her a catalog if she So I'm going to send her a Spanish one for her mom, but always try to put a catalog in your hostess packet if they have no catalog. So they can start browsing and looking through. You know, prior to sending this, we do have a conversation on the phone. I let them know that I'm going to be sending this packet. I let them know that the catalog has 2 different prices. There's the preferred client price, which she already is. There's regular price. And then I'm also going to send a couple documents in there with her hostess packet. Go over there, please. I'm going to send 2 order forms. Okay. And I'm sending 2 order forms because she's going to try to collect some orders for me. So I just put some on here, but I did tell her, you know, if you want to put all the orders on one page, you can just kind of separate it by name. I try to make it very easy for her and we can fix it when I get there the day of the party. I also send the Is Arbonne for You document. Right? Because I wanted to start thinking about the business. So I send the Arbonne for You document, which is something that I pretty much go over at a demo. I don't go in detail, but it's kind of like my guide, what I use when I'm talking about the business. And then the other document I send in there is the hostess packages. This is what I was talking about last week. This is found in our Dropbox. Dropbox and you click on the folder that says presentations. So it's all the materials for presentations. If you click on that folder, within that folder, there's another folder called close sheets. So these are all the documents you need when you're closing a party, like an order form, a wellness profile, this hostess package. So basically, these are the perks that my host is going to get just for hosting. I know you guys can't see it, but basically what I'm doing here is I've created, or these aren't mine, actually Cecilia Stoll created this years ago. These are 3 packages that she can choose from, hosted from me. The basic one is choose any product she wants and she gets 35% off, which is my discount, right? But she's not a consultant, so she wouldn't have that incentive to get 35% off. The next one is called the Deluxe Host Package. So that one is $375 for $192 with 50 cents. Okay, basically what that is her buying $250 worth of product, right, under my consultant ID, and then that $130 for 25 pops up. So then she can also get products through that $130 for 25. Okay, you guys get that? And we can help you with that. And then the last one is called the Supreme Host Package, which is basically $750 worth of product for $385. So that's her spending about $500 in Arbonne product with my 35% off and using 2 of the 130s for 25. Okay. Now, the only thing that I saw from here that I'm going to change tonight is that before the 130 for 25s, our packets used to be, before the 130 for, I think it's 125 for 30. Did I flip that around? It's $125. Thank you, Ty. It's $125 worth of product for $30 now. Back then, it was $125 worth of product for 25. So all I need to do is in there and just, add $5 more to some of these packets or add $10 more to some of these packets. That's the only difference that I need to do. So by tonight, you guys will see the new one. But these are the perks for a host. And when she sees it laid out like this, she's like, oh, wow. So for $750, for $385, I'm getting this much product. They get to see, the perks of shopping big and getting like really deep discounts. So this is the host rewards that I use because I did mention that I personally, and I know a lot of my leaders don't either, but I personally do not use Arbonne's host rewards. I do leave it at the discretion of every consultant to decide what they want to do. But the main reason I don't use the Arbonne host rewards is because we get 0 QV from it. We get 0 volume, 0 commission. So I'd rather present my host with something that not only she will benefit from, but so will I with my business, right? And then I can duplicate this down the line, which is what you want. You want to duplicate a way that your business will continue to grow always, right? So this is in the Dropbox. And then you can also put in there, it's up to you, you can put a list of all the ASVPs that are offered to preferred clients so she can kind of get an idea. You can also put in there the ASVP list for consultants so she sees the difference of the consultant prices and the PCs. Because again, remember, our objective is to try to get her to look at the business and maybe decide to join by the end of her party if she's got guests that are willing to do the detox or interested, right? And then of course the pick me free list, right? Because this is the product that she will get to choose if she decides to become a consultant with her $250 order or more. So I just give her like little information. I do go over it, right? I don't just send all of this and she has no idea what it is. Go over it once she has her packet in front of her so she has an idea. At that point, you can incentivize her or him and say, hey, ooh, sorry. You can say, hey, if you get me 3 orders before your presentation, I'll gift you this. If you get, 5 orders before your presentation, I'll gift you this. It's really up to you. I don't want to set standards out there because everyone has their own budget and you can get creative with what kind of gifts you want to present. If your budget is on the lower side, and I love these gifts regardless, I love the water bottles, I love the shaker cups, the Arbonne makeup bag, which is only $5. I mean, there's so many cool gifts that you do get QV for that you can fill up with some tissue paper, maybe some fit sticks or some fit shoes. Get creative, make it fun and make it simple so that it's something that you can offer. And also thinking business sense, putting on your business brain and thinking, what can I offer that makes sense that if I'm offering this gift, I'm getting this much commission in return. So if you're encouraging your host to find 3 PCs before her presentation to do the detox, that's almost $150 that you're earning in commission, right? If those PCs sign up under, directly under you and she's not a consultant. Okay, that's when you get the $48 per detox kit if it's someone direct to you. So what is it worth? But if she decides to become a consultant and override, those orders will help you get closer to your bonus booster of $100, right? It'll help you get closer to those goals. So you just have to really decide and think like, what can I offer my guest or my host? Sorry. So that's the hostess packet. It's super simple, clean, not so much effort. And again, always put a sample. If you're not going to see them and you're going to mail this, use a paper sample. But if you can drop it off, give them an RE9 set, give them a renewed detox spa set. Again, these are just testers to try. You're not giving them the whole set. They're just trying it up until the day of their party, right? So maybe you drop off the kit, your little hostess bag and your basket 5 days before the party. A week before. You decide when, but give them enough time because the big reason you want to do this with your host is for many, many reasons. But I think the 2 top reasons is 1, you want someone on your side that loves the products as much as you do the day of the party so that their personal testimony can edify you and what you're trying to share, right? Her guests are more likely to listen to her than you because they don't know you. You're brand new. There's not a lot of trust there. But if she says something like, oh my gosh, I've been using the RE9 set this whole week and my skin is amazing. She's already edified you and everything that you're trying to share that day, right? The second thing is because when a host is trying these products and you're explaining this hostess package and you're explaining the incentives, you are in a sense coaching your host and you are giving her value to where she's not going to want to cancel on you. She's just as excited as you are about doing this. She feels involved. She feels part of this. The added value will avoid any cancellations. And if there is cancellations, chances are they'll be the truth, right? It'll be something that's really happening and she's going to be really willing to reschedule. Okay. So this is also so important. And I know many of us do fail to do this because it does take us to take a more inconvenient route. right? It's a little bit more work for us. But again, you guys, we are in a multi-million-dollar business. If your sole job was to book 8 presentations a month and coach the crap out of these hosts so that they felt really excited and ready to go, would that not beat an everyday 9 to 5? Would that be awesome to know that you're consistently growing your business, that you're having hosts that do not quit, that you have hosts who are ready to jump on board with you because they've seen how professional you are from beginning to end. They see that you're organized, that you know what you're doing. All of this speaks volumes to the people who are hosting for you because they want to be, again, remember, we talked about this in calls in the past. People join people. They do not join companies. So they're going to join you because they're going to see Ty has her shit together, okay? She knows what she's doing. She's excited. Like, if I'm going to partner up with someone in this business, I want it to be with Ty. I know, Ty, you're so pretty. You're like the big screen on my phone, so you're the only person I see right now. So you look so pretty. So I'm just going off your energy, girl, so thank you so much. So it is so important to coach our hosts, okay? This is a business, so it's easier and lazier not to do it, to just set the date and, the day before, 2 days before, call them and say, hey, are we ready? They're going to cancel on you guys. It's going to happen. But if you want to execute those 8 presentations a month, then get into the routine of staying in contact with them, getting them excited. Even when the presentation is not here yet, but it's already in the books, you've already passed out your hostess packet, right? And trying the products, you can still invite them to Wellness Wednesdays to check out a video. You can still invite them to a DA. You can still involve them in different things. This is all, just extra points. Get the person really excited about what you have to offer or what's going to happen. It just gets them all more excited. And guess what? When they're excited, they think of who else they can invite. Who else can I invite? Because they start seeing this as an opportunity for them. Okay. Now let's talk about the presentation itself. I'm not going to go through scripts, and I'm going to tell you why, because I really believe that each and every one of you probably have a script you love, and I'm not here to confuse scripts. I really don't think the script is what makes the demo. Okay. I really feel it's you, your energy, your organization, and what you do from beginning to end. Okay, I really don't think the script is what's going to make your party happen. So before we even get started with that, rule of thumb is from beginning to end, your presentation should take no more than 2 hours. From the moment you walk in to hopefully by the time you walk out. Although the latter part, there's a little flexibility there because sometimes people just want to chat, and that's totally fine. But from beginning to end, about 2 hours. When you arrive, it is so important that you are on time. And by on time, I mean at least 15 to 20 minutes before. Okay, at least, right? You do not want to walk in right at 6 p.m. when the party is supposed to start. Even if you know people are not going to get there till 6:30, even if you know that you're probably not going to start the presentation portion until about 6:45, that doesn't matter. It's the impression you leave with the person. Right? The person who's hosting. She's already a little nervous. She's already a little scared that people might show up. And then you're running in the door right when it's supposed to start to then set up. What if she has one guest there waiting for the rest of the people and she's watching you scramble, right? To get ready. And inside you're thinking, well, it's okay because not everyone's here yet. Okay. Remember, let's be professional because these people are watching your every move. Do they want to partner up with you? Well, they're going to be watching you from the beginning. So if you seem like you're scrambled, disorganized, late, you're not concerned with people's time, well, they're not going to want to align with you. They're not going to refer you people. They're not going to want to be part of your business, right? So try to arrive 15 to 20 minutes before, and then make sure that you set up right away. Ask for everything you need. If you need certain specific items, I know there's some people that when they do their demos, they want to have almond milk and maybe they want some frozen strawberries, then ask your host if it's not too much trouble ahead of time, a few days before, if she can grab some frozen strawberries or almond milk. If you think this person doesn't want to be inconvenienced at all, then you bring it, right? If it's something that you're going to use. Not necessary, but again, everyone has the way that they do their samples of protein shake, and that's totally fine. Go for whatever it is that you love. But remember, prep your host and make sure she's aware of what you need. Get there, set up, do it in a room that's well lit, well ventilated. living room, kitchen table. Set up your products up where everyone's going to be able to see them, where you can stand up or sit. Again, you can stand up or sit. It really depends on you. If you have a hard time building energy when you're presenting, stand up. If you're someone that's too energetic, sit down. Okay, like just decide what you want to do. But if you have a hard time feeling energized, or maybe your voice, you feel something is too monotone, I encourage you to stand up. Okay, stand up when you're presenting so that you feel a little better, and you can try to create more energy. If you sit down, you might get a little bit more tired. You might come down with your energy. If you're someone that you feel like you're just all over the place, and you feel like you're always jumping from subject to subject, and you're not sure like where to start, where to end, your energy is like off the roof, which isn't bad. Sitting down actually helps. Okay, sitting down close to your products, kind of facing your audience, does help. Again, it totally depends on you. Okay, what kind of presentation you want to do. When it's only like 1 or 2 people, I normally sit with them. Okay, if it's a very small group, I like the intimate. Like I'll even go sit on the couch and present from there with them. Make it a little bit more one-on-one or two-on-one. So again, kind of look at your crowd and think about how you want to do your presentation. Before the presentation even starts, once your product is all laid out, what you want to do, this is your time to get to know your guests. I always like to just kind of ask a lot of questions of my hostess, like, who's coming? Oh, tell me about her. Tell me about him. I want to know about her guests. And the host is always going to be the one person that's going to give you the most insight on every single person that's coming. Oh, well, Jenny's coming. She's out of a job right now. She's a single mom. She used to do this, and I think she'd be really great. Pablo's coming too. He doesn't really like his job, and his wife's trying to get him to get another job. Try to just find insights. Or maybe Susie's coming. She's been trying to get healthy. She's yo-yoed on a bunch of diets. Like, I know she'd love this product. Like, try to find out some information, if you can, on all the guests that are coming, so you kind of have an idea of what you're going to say when you present, right? Or what you're going to stick to. And then when you finally start arriving, I want you to practice doing this. And trust me, it's hard, you guys. Practice being very curious about people. It's hard for me. Try not to talk about yourself too much. And if they start asking you questions, try to turn it back to them. Okay? Say a little bit, answer their question, but try to turn it back to them. Really try to get to know your audience. Okay? They don't even have to know that you're the Arbonne girl. They don't even have to know that. Okay? All that will come later when you have time to present your story, right? Your 60-second story. But get to know your guest. Why? Because your guests are going to give you the pinpoints that will make your presentation important to them. Something that will connect with them. If one girl says she loves to travel, remember that. If one person says they hate their job, remember that. If one person says, yeah, they've been yo-yoing on diets, but they can't find something that's easy and that works with their schedule, remember that. Try to remember things from all the conversations you're having, so that when you start presenting, you touch on those points. When you touch on those points, not only have you listened, but guess what? Your guests are now listening too, because you're talking about something that's important to them. Does that make sense? Okay, so have conversations, get good at being curious with people and getting to know them, so that when your presentation begins, it's something that's relevant to their lives. Okay? Wonderful. Now, as far as the sampling goes, again, you can do it however you want. There's some people on my team that like to let people sample everything before they get started. They sample the protein shakes and the fizz stick and the detox tea. Totally fine. I have others who like to pass out the samples during the presentation in the portion where they're actually talking about that product. Again, totally fine, but you want to have all that prepped so that you're not running to the kitchen to make a batch of protein shake and then they're waiting there for you to finish and then you're coming. So have it all prepped. Maybe your host can help you. She can pass it out while you continue to talk, right? Other people like to do their samples at the very end when they're done. Like, okay, everyone, now that we're done, look at your catalogs. Let me know how I can help you with your ordering. I'm going to pass out some samples. It's all up to you, okay? You decide what works best for you. I really don't feel there's a right or wrong way. I genuinely prefer during my presentation, but that requires me to be super prepared with everything already made, and me, again, coaching my host to help me out if I don't have another consultant there to help me pass it out, so that I'm not, kind of back and forth. That's just how I like to do it. But anyone can do it any which way. I've seen it work all 3 ways. Okay. When you start your presentation, so now, we're talking to people, we're getting to know them. Maybe they tried their samples. Now they're all sitting down and we're going to get started. We had a call not too long ago where we talked about your why, right? The why, the how, the what. It was from the book Start With Why from Simon Sinek. Hopefully many of you have started reading it or already finished reading it. But so when you start, the very first thing you want to start with is your why, okay? Because this is what's going to make everyone pay attention and listen closely to the rest of your presentation. So start with your name, and then just start with your 60-second story. So your 60-second story will touch on your why, your how, your what. You're going to talk about why you do this business. Like, what makes it so passionate to you? What is it that drives you and excites you to do this business? The how is, what is it that you're doing exactly? Maybe it sounds something like this. When I was introduced to Arbonne, I was 20 pounds, I'm making this up, I was 20 pounds overweight. I was having a really difficult time with my health. I had a lot of illnesses that were starting to come up, and I was so young, I was thinking, like, what's going on? A friend introduced me to the 30-day program. And like most people, I was like, ugh, another diet. I'm tired of diets. I've done them my whole life. And she explained to me what it was. I listened. It sounded awesome, amazing. And well, I jumped in. 30 days later, I lost my 20 pounds. I feel great. I have so much energy. And now I do this as a business because I love to share with people how to get healthy. That is your story. Okay. Or maybe it's totally business oriented, or maybe it's RE9 oriented. It doesn't matter, but start with your why you're doing this business. Try to connect with people. Again, remembering some of the things that these guests said prior to you beginning your presentation. Once you're done with that, part 2 of your presentation is now the Arbonne story. Talk about Arbonne, but make it sweet and short, okay? It's European born. Our founder's from Norway. He came to the United States because he had a dream. He wanted to do something different. He wanted to help mothers make money so that they can take care of their families. He really believed in pure, clean, and beneficial products. You could talk about the ingredients quickly. What makes us different? I love the 2000 list. So what I love is this kind of passage that I heard someone say. This is how they said, I think it was very good. In the European Union, they ban over 1,200 ingredients from their cosmeceutical lines, right? Their personal care products. In the US, they only ban about a dozen. Well, did you know that Arbonne does over 2,000? We ban over 2,000. So not only are we getting the best of Europe, was even going above and beyond that, because we banned over 2,000 toxic ingredients from all our products. That, I think, is a killer passage, a killer way of saying it, and showing that we're even above the European Union. Like, we even go a step further. Okay. And then of course you could talk about the certification. So spend a little bit of time on that, and then go right into what is your script, whatever it is, however it goes. I think maximum amount of time you want to spend on your whole presentation is about 30 minutes. I think is a good time. Time yourself, because sometimes we just talk a lot. I would encourage you to just record yourself doing just the presentation part. Just record yourself and then go back and listen and think about how many things are unnecessary that you can take out, that are just the same thing said over again, but in a different way. A lot of times people do that. They'll say the same thing over and over again, but in a different way, right? And it just takes up a lot of time. So try to stick to what's important, what's relevant, what is important to the guests that are in the room, right? All those little triggers that we talked about, and just try to stick to that. One other thing I love to do during my presentations is ask participation from the guests. This is how I know they're listening. This is how I know they're participating and they're focused and active, and it does entertain them more. So if I'm talking about clean ingredients, I'll say, how many of you read labels? Awesome. Okay, so that means all of you do care about what goes in your products, right? Okay, great. I mean, how many of you are looking constantly for products that are pure, clean, and beneficial for you and your family? Like, get them to raise their hand, get them to say me, oh, I do, I agree. Ask questions where they're positive type of questions where people will say yes to them, right? Just interaction. It could be anything. And you can pull stuff out of your script that you can ask people, just have fun with it. That's how you know they're being interactive. Tell people at the beginning, if you guys have any questions, feel free to stop me at any time. Okay, don't tell people, don't ask me anything until the end of the presentation. Let people ask questions. That's also really important too. Finally, when you come to the end of your presentation, this is the part where you want to spend a little bit of time talking about your business. And I would encourage you to do one of two things. If you're already an area manager or an RVP, talk about your journey through the comp plan. From the moment you were a consultant, what it did for you, what the a monthly income of a DM did for you, what the monthly income of an AM did for you and your family, and then VP. If you're a brand new consultant, you can go through the and share a story from your upline. You know, share their story if you have yet a story to build. Like, you know, my sponsor, she was a teacher. She started as a consultant, and then she started making this much money, and she started looking at the fact that she could possibly, you know, quit her job because she was making, you know, $300 to $800 a month. And then she became an area manager, and she decided to retire from teaching completely. Now she was making anywhere from $1,200 to $4,000 a month. And now she's getting very close to promoting to the next level, which is region. You know, you can take people through a story, either your own or someone you know, whether it's your direct sponsor or a leader in your business. Get to know their story, because I really feel that when you connect the comp plan to a story, it becomes more relevant to people, like more real. So take them through that journey. And also, people love stories. So if you could share a story with someone, even if it's not yours, Christy Draylings, Donna Johnson, get to know their story, right? You could read EOAs on that. Mindy Preet has a great EOA. Christy Drayling obviously has a great EOA because she was homeless at one point. Now she's, you know, a millionaire. Just share stories. People love stories, and share it through the comp plan. And then quickly get to the end of, you know, the 3 ways: host, PC, or consultant, and then wrap it up. And the ending is the most important. And this, you know, if people want to stay there an hour, it really doesn't matter at that point, because your presentation portion is done. I always ask at the very end, once I pass out catalogs and the order forms and all that at the very end, I always say, if anyone needs to leave first, let me know, because I love to sit down with you first. Okay? And what I mean by that is I like to sit with each person just to talk to them briefly. Like, is there anything you saw today that you just want to get your hands on? You know, are you interested in doing the 30 days to healthy living and beyond with so-and-so, the host? You know, tell me what you're interested in. I don't say, what do you want to buy? You know, I was like, what are you interested? You know, do you have any more questions? If you could make a wish list, what would you put on it? Like, just start asking them questions and talking. Ask about hosting. Ask about looking further into the business. Is this something that you think you'd want to do? Most people will say, well, no, not really. And that's where you say, really? Because I think you'd be amazing at this. Most people don't think they can do this business, but with a little bit of positive reinforcement and motivation, people can take a second look and think, well, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe I need to look further into it. And at that point, you can decide to book a one-on-one or a 3-way call or a Zoom. But as consultants, we have to ask those questions that people are not going to just openly say, yeah, I want to do this business. How many of you had a demo where everybody raised their hand at the end and said, hey, I want to do this business? It really doesn't happen, right? A lot of people are shy to say what they want to do. This is why sitting with people individually at the end of the event is important, because they can now be a little bit more open with you. They may not want to say it in front of everyone, but maybe with you, they might have some more personal questions about the business or the product. So take at least 5 to 10 minutes, and always start with the person who says they need to go first. There's always that one person that's trying to sneak out, okay? So that's just like an overview. Again, scripts don't really matter. What matters from the script is that you start properly, right, with your why, your story, talk a little bit about what Arbonne is, Arbonne's why, and then get into your script of explaining the products. Do the close through a comp plan, right, by telling a story again, either your own or someone else's, closing, and then please reminding people that you'd like to sit with them quickly just to kind of ask more questions and see what they thought of your presentation, okay? It should be basic. Have fun, get to know people, really coach your host. That is so important. That will ensure that your presentation is awesome. And at the beginning of your presentation, when you're saying your story, if your host had a really awesome testimony, have her share at that time. Have her share at the beginning, right? You want to have them share at the beginning, because then the guests will pay attention a little bit more when you let your host share at the beginning, maybe their testimony or what they loved about the products. Okay, Monica says we only have a few minutes, so let's see if anybody has any questions. You have to unmute yourself, I believe, if you want to chat.
Okay, well, if anybody wants to ask, please ask. I just wanted to share really quickly the power of preparing your hostess, even when you get one guest with that hostess. So really quick story, how I got to Area was I had been asking Liz, and she is a consultant now, but she's no longer a DM. I had been asking Liz literally for a year to host for me. She finally said yes. And then I gave her a little basket, dropped it off at her house. She wasn't even there about a week before. Walked her through everything that Esme said to do. And then as the day was coming up, the day before, she's like, Monica, I only have 3 people confirmed. Totally no problem. Everything she said, I was like, no problem. I get there. She's like, or we get there. And she's like, Monica, I only have 2 people confirmed. No problem. She's like, I didn't even try the stuff you gave me. No problem. Let's go wash your face right now in the restroom. She washed her face. She loved it. She's like, Monica, I have 1 person coming. I could tell, FYI, she really did not want to do this, but she felt so bad that she had put me off for a year. Long story short, about 2 bottles of wine later, and me and Esme and Gloria and her, well, Liz and her 1 guest, they both signed up as consultants. They both finished district manager in less than 2 months. One finished in 1 month. The second one finished in 2 months. And that was with a party of 2. So literally they signed up. The following month, they went into, one of them finished and one of them went into qualification. And then the second month, the second one finished. And it was just like this domino effect. So I just wanted to share very, very quickly the power of preparing your hostess and sticking to your appointments. Having said that, also when you're hosting something, don't cancel. Do not cancel. Do not send messages out that it's canceled, because then you're also sending that precedence that, oh, I'm going to cancel. It's, it can cancel. Even if it's just you, just sit there and be prepared. What's the worst that can happen? You did your makeup, you did your hair, big deal. So I thank you, Esme, for going over this, because I love it. It's basically back to basics and it's a lot of fun. I just did this presentation with Aska and I did it pretty much exactly how you said. I just want to, again, just touch on, Esme's not saying to not know the scripts. You have to know what you're talking about. So it's definitely know the script, practice the script. Even if you still have it in front of you every now and then to refer, just don't be so attached to it. When I saw Evelyn do a presentation for the first time in a really long time, she kind of had her own way of doing it. And she asked the audience so many questions. It was freaking awesome. Everybody was participating and we were passing out like little tickets left and right. And that was just her way of doing it. That's from what she had remembered how to do it. And it was a really positive. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of that, of the power of, even if it's just you and your hostess, you'd have no idea what can happen. So that was how I got to Area, was they became district managers very quickly. So anything's possible. Okay. Any questions? We have less than a minute. You want to close this out, Esme?
Okay, there. Sorry, I couldn't unmute myself. No, that's it. Just thank you guys. If you have any questions or you want more insight, talk to your upline or your direct sponsor if you need more clarification. But you guys, it's $1 million business. I truly believe we can all be millionaires and do a lot of good in this world, but we have to take our business to that next level by treating it like a multi-million-dollar business. Be organized, be professional, have fun, and do it in a way that will duplicate and will bring you a really strong, consistent, stable business. Okay. Love you guys. Have a wonderful week. Stay cool. It's hot.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.